Friends, imagine getting stranded on a mysterious island with your crush. No network, no help, nothing around except wild jungles, stormy seas, and just the two of you. What would happen? This is the story of a boy and a girl who set out on a school trip, but fate drags them to an island where survival itself becomes the biggest challenge. And in the middle of this struggle, a bond slowly grows between them, one that changes their lives forever. So let's begin the video. The story begins with Emma, a beautiful and popular student who wakes up early and gets ready for school. On the other hand, there's Dean, a lazy boy who wakes up late and goes straight to play video games, until his father, Jack, scolds him. Emma heads to school with her little sister, Stacy, and her mother, Barbara. At school, she meets her best friends, and Steven tries to impress her with a friendly, "Hi," which makes Liz tease her. In class, their teacher, Mr. Christensen, announces the upcoming Trinity Island trip. Just then, Emma arrives late, and as she bumps into Dean, he jokingly says, "Sorry, princess." Meanwhile, Liz reveals that Dean is also going on the trip, thanks to his father's money. At lunchtime, Liz tells her friends that on the trip she'll try to bring Emma and Steven closer, but Emma firmly replies that they should just focus on the trip itself. At that moment, she notices Dean cutting an apple, and Miss Collier scolds him for bringing a knife, sending him straight to the principal's office. Liz then comments that Emma should stay away from boys like Dean, especially when the hottest guy in school already likes her. The next morning, as Emma gets ready to leave, she thanks her parents while Dean initially refuses to go, but his father, Jack, manages to convince him. Soon after, Mr. Christensen gathers everyone onto the bus, and once inside, Steven casually asks Emma how she's doing. Liz teases Emma again, but Emma just ignores her. Everyone arrives at Trinity Island, where Miss Collier tells them they can enjoy the pool before dinner. Emma and her friends have fun swimming, while Dean stays alone, watching everything from the balcony. In the evening, Liz announces that Steven has invited them to a boat party. At first, Emma refuses, but after her friends insist, she finally agrees. At the party, she sees Steven kissing another girl. Shocked, Emma starts to leave, but Dean sarcastically comments, "Looks like your boyfriend is having a good time." Emma snaps back, telling him that it's none of his business. Suddenly, the police arrive after receiving reports that students were using drugs at the party, and everyone is gathered in front of the boat. In the chaos, Emma slips and falls into the water, and Dean immediately dives in to save her. Both manage to climb onto a small boat, but to escape the police, Dean cuts the rope, causing the big boat to drift away, and soon a storm hits. With no motor on their boat, the fierce waves carry them deep into the Arabian Sea. By the next morning, Dean's phone is completely damaged, and Emma's has no signal either. Emma regrets that they didn't follow the party boat, but Dean comforts her, saying someone will eventually find them. Just then, in the middle of their conversation, Emma spots an island not too far away. Dean steers the boat toward the island Emma pointed out, and after a tough struggle, they finally reach it. Emma checks her phone for network but finds no signal, while Dean discovers a flare gun on the boat and takes it along as he and Emma move ahead in search of help. Meanwhile, at the hotel, because of the previous night's party, Mr. Christensen cancels the trip. Liz informs Miss Collier that Emma never returned to the hotel and was last seen on the party boat. During attendance, it's also revealed that Dean is missing, confirming that both are gone. The police begin questioning, and when Miss Collier asks how they can help, the officers explain that cases like this are common. Maybe the two will return on their own, otherwise searching the sea will be nearly impossible. As soon as Dean's father hears that his son is missing, he rushes to the school, where he meets Emma's mother, Barbara, and soon Phil also arrives. Together, they question the principal, but when he fails to give them a proper answer, they leave disappointed. Meanwhile, Emma and Dean continue their journey and stumble upon a beautiful waterfall in the jungle. Dean is amazed and asks Emma to take a photo of him, but she refuses, saying they're trapped here and that she needed this trip for her project and to prepare for Princeton University. Otherwise, everything will be ruined. After walking for hours, they reach the edge of the island, but find neither a way out nor any help. Exhausted, they head back toward the boat, only to discover it's gone, swept away by the ocean waves, leaving them with nothing but a single life jacket. After walking the whole day, a tired Emma and Dean decide to light a fire and spend the night there as the sun sets. And when Emma shivers in the cold, Dean gives her his shirt while they talk about how their parents might find them by tomorrow. The next morning, Dean wakes to see Emma missing and, after searching, finds her at the shore writing SOS in the sand. She tells him she's trying to survive and insists they need to find water. Dean goes swimming while Emma keeps an eye on him. Meanwhile, at the hotel, Mr. Christensen informs the parents that the police are searching for the kids and that a small boat was found which they may have boarded. But while Jack suggests hiring a private rescue team, the teacher reassures them that the police will find the children. At the same time, while Emma is filling water, she suddenly feels like someone is watching her, panics, and quickly rushes back. Together, Emma and Dean build a small hut out of leaves to protect themselves from the sun, and Emma writes a large SOS sign on the beach, hoping a rescue team might see it. They survive by eating whatever they can find on the island. At one point, Dean discovers a banana tree and both of them eat until they are full. Because of the heat, Emma cuts her long pants into shorts. One night, as Dean sleeps inside the hut, Emma lies down close to him, and in his sleep, Dean places his hand on her. Emma stays quiet and doesn't move away. The next day, while Emma is bathing under the waterfall, Dean shows up asking for sunscreen. Emma scolds him, reminding him that she asked him to keep watch since she feels someone else might be on the island. Meanwhile, the news reports that Emma and Dean's case has officially been declared critical, and the police now believe they may be dead, focusing their efforts on finding their bodies. Phil prepares to return home so that Stacy won't be left alone, while Barbara remains deeply worried and restless. Phil comforts Barbara, assuring her that Emma will be found, and hugs her tightly. The next day, Jack and Barbara take a helicopter to continue searching for Emma and Dean. Meanwhile, on the island, as night falls, Emma sits lost in thoughts of her family when Dean suddenly discovers a human skull. Frightened, Emma says it might have belonged to someone stranded like them, and fears they'll meet the same fate. But Dean reassures her, saying it was probably just a fisherman or smuggler, and reminds her that their parents are still looking for them. If they stay together, they'll never die, and one day, they'll return home. He then kisses Emma, her very first kiss, and to her surprise, she likes it. That night, a storm strikes, but for the first time, Emma feels herself enjoying it. The next morning, however, when she wakes up, Dean is gone. Panicked, she calls out his name, and when there's no answer, she rushes into the jungle to search for him. Emma begins to suspect that someone else might be on the island, stealing their belongings. Days pass by, and only a single plane flies overhead without stopping to help. Frustrated and hopeless, the two start to think they may never return home and will have to survive here forever. One day, Dean hears a strange noise in the jungle and goes to check, with Emma following behind. Suddenly, a black panther appears right in front of him. Dean runs for his life but falls to the ground. When Emma reaches him, she sees blood on his knife. Dean has killed the panther in self-defense. Meanwhile, back home, their friends and parents have already begun moving on with their lives. On the island, however, Dean and Emma adapt to survival, learning to hunt, build shelter, and live with the wild. Rescue now seems almost impossible, but then one day, Emma suddenly vomits, and Dean nervously asks if she's pregnant. She denies it, but before they can think further, their missing belongings start falling from above. Looking up, they realize a monkey has been stealing their things, including the flare gun that disappeared earlier. Cleverly, Emma tempts the monkey with a banana, forcing it to drop the gun. At that very moment, the sound of a helicopter echoes overhead. Rushing to an open clearing, Emma fires the flare gun into the sky, and finally, the helicopter spots them. After a long and painful wait, Emma and Dean are at last rescued.